us, but a 2-minute delay for you because someone forgot to turn their delay on. That fucking Smiley. Once again, joined by Decade. Decade, how you doing?
Things have been going great so far. I'm honestly interested to see how MHS Tigers plays. I know a couple of the players on the team just from watching them from a couple of previous NGS streams. So I'm honestly excited to see how they'll play this map, what type of heroes they'll play, because they honestly keep it pretty interesting with the picks that they usually go with. Although this time on the first pick, they decided to go with Greymane, a safer pick, definitely a hero that's always been known to be something that's viable, but not something that's always going to be game breaking. It's always a safe draft. It can fill a lot of different roles, a lot of different objectives in a game.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, so again, we were talking before, Phoenix is allowed even though it's within 2 weeks, and it's just because the new rule in NGS is the second week, so basically week 1, most of it's after Phoenix been out for 2 weeks, so Phoenix is eligible for the entirety of week 1. But we are going to see a move towards Artanis and Tyrael to support a Greymane, so very aggressive, but I'm concerned because they've just picked 2 warriors and they don't have a ton of CC into a Stukov Maiev.
Oh, for sure. Maiev is something that's really potent to deal with. A lot of the times, if you pick, more defensive range compositions that try and poke out enemy players, she's really great at punishing that. Honestly, I'd say she's probably one of the strongest heroes that's seen a lot of pick and ban priority for not only in NGS, but I'll say for even HGC teams for sure.
Yeah, now Stukov has definitely moved his way up the support ladder thanks to Shad from Zealots. You've been seeing a lot of play around that E combo, especially that 13 potential, trying to land the root with the silence. It's just absolutely devastating if you can do it. Banning out the Lucio, possibly looking at the percent-based healing post 16 or the sound barrier.
Surprised. I honestly thought they would go for the Malfurion ban, just seeing as he's a little bit higher in the support priority, but deciding to go, I guess, to take out sustain more out of the compositions and going more of dealing with like burst healers or even Malfurion just having the slow mobility that he does has. He's easy to catch off for Maiev.
Well, what I would say is Lucio kind of makes sense when you consider that it's percent-based healing post 16, and Greymane actually does scale much higher at It does scale much higher at higher levels. It scales at 5% a level rather than 4, so he actually gets a lot of value out of that. But it just comes down to, I think, they maybe want to remove sound barrier so they can get the instant blow up. They don't have someone to save from Warden's Cage.
Oh, for sure. They already have a great defensive setup with Tyrael, and just throwing a sound barrier on top of that, I mean, that's a great way to start off a really strong team fight. Yeah. Especially to counter all-ins, which you're going to see a lot of from comps just like this with Maiev, and then followed with ETC and Junkrat into the mix-up here.
Yeah, pretty standard combo there, ETC Junkrat, but now we see a Morales, and so our Juice Pirates alert. That is all.
I honestly think that they're really looking for a comp that's relying on Greymane to do the brunt of the damage for team fights. They have an Artanis, which still can be a stim drone target. They also have Greymane, who's an excellent hyper carry, coupled with the fact that they have Sanctification. They can really just go for an all-in initiation on heroes just like Junkrat or Stukov.
Okay, but so did you watch the Gale Force series where they played Heroes Hearth late in the first half of the phase, before Western Class, this year? Where they played on Volskaya?
I did not get the chance, actually.
Okay, they ran a comp like this, and it's a Juice Pirates comp. Basically, they're going to try to use early gank potential, which they have, early good advantage, to get a kill on the shrine, get a fort in probably bottom lane, and then once they get 10s, they're going to fly in, they're going to Sanctification, they're going to blow up a keep, and then they're going to die, but then they're going to come back and do the same thing to core. This is Juice Pirates.
Wow, that is one scary composition. That's
meanwhile a very standard comp on the right side. I'm actually looking forward to this. We're seeing Juice Pirates in game number 1 of season 4, guys. Doesn't get better than this. Well,
yeah, it's definitely orthodox versus unorthodox for sure.
Yeah, the Sylvanas is kind of weird to it, I would say. Usually you'd expect to see something with just a bit more wave clear. Like, you usually get someone in there who can kind of double soak the lane. Just because with Greymane Artanis, Like you can burn a structure down and kill it. We'll see.
Ooh, Biamaduho on Sylvanas. Now, this is the player I was actually talking about earlier. Really known for playing specialist heroes. They have a really good understanding of lane phase mechanics, lane pushing, and just watching out for ganks. So I think it's going to be a really huge annoyance for them to deal with early on. They'll probably try and stick Blaze into a lane that can try and bully her out from pushing, and then just keep the rest of the team as a roaming gank squad with ETC and the Maiev.
All right, so with that, here we are, Volskaya. Just to warn everyone in advance, the OBS in Heroes of the Storm are bugged. You will not see heroic timers, and that's going to be very, very important when it comes to Juice Pirates. As we see already move towards top, it's going to be Merlin X on Artanis, going to be B Blob 757 on Greymane. B Meta Ho is on, oh, what was he on? Tyrael, I believe?
Sylvanas.
They're stacked
actually,
up so tight. Out. Yeah, okay.
And then it's Wolf Dark on Tyrael.
And then Winslow on the Medic. And go ahead and introduce the right side for us.
So we have Miss Mai. They're running Maiev as Sestrin. They've got Tells, who's going to be playing on the Junkrat. We have Gnome K on the Blaze. We have Born to Shine on the Stukov. And then we finally have the Dude Abode, the team captain, that's going to be playing on ETC.
Yep, and already right out of the gate moving top, so it looks like the top lane is going to be the focus. Although Merlin X, a little bit of trouble. Medic did get grabbed by Maiev. Going to be able to get away. Big power slide, separating out Merlin X. Winslow taking a lot of damage, but managing to heal up Merlin X. Merlin X trying to use the Blade Dash just to get a time for his shield proc. But there's the stun. Maiev grabs, almost saved, but still. That whole time they managed to get a tower. And because it took a 5-man commit on the side of Mist Mai, you know, they didn't get a big lead next peak.
I think it paid off, definitely. I mean, just taking the one structure, sacking the one player, they still have an equal EXP lead. Honestly, they're just going to look to play lanes here. Sylvanas immediately heading to bottom where there isn't any occupied players. Honestly, they're looking to play the macro game, probably looking for a strong 3-man lane with the Medic and the Tyrael to hard push top lane, maybe take out an early well before the second temple spawns.
Yeah, that would play well into this kind of strategy, but we will see. I'm just, you know, go crazy, throw Juice Pirates. Looking at the talents, I mean, it definitely indicates it. You have Wolfheart, you have Amateur Opponent, you have Justice for All, so the AoE shielding. You have that Quivering Flow, which is extra, you know, PvE damage. So all told, it just makes a lot of sense for that kind of play. Meanwhile, on the other side, though, going to see the Prog Rock at ATC try to help out Stukov with the support. Stukov going with the E build rather than the Fetid Touch that I personally like.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, I think they're just looking for a silence follow-up. If they take Cage at level 10, it's going to be a nice... It's going to cover
Maiev with the Tether, separating out Merlin X once again. Merlin X dodging the ETC Power Slide. Very solid individual play there against the Dude Abode by avoiding the Power Slide.
Camp timing here. Merlin's looking to head up. I think they're going to cap the... Oh, nope. He's looking to head up to contest top lane against the Blaze. Yep. As you can see, they've already taken the top camp in the upper left. Just looking, I guess, to wait till the temple spawn before they place it out for the zone on H.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You know, when you have like a Stukov Junkrat comp, you don't generally expect someone to go kind of scouting the enemy's base, especially this early in the game. So, good decision to kind of leave that. Meanwhile, here's my Hero League experience, boys and girls. Support solo laning of Maiev and bottom. The DB Smiley Hero League experience. Feels bad.
Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, Medic is a very, very scary hero. The pea shooter that she wields at all times is something for sure to fear.
Hey, grenades can be scary. Although it's interesting, it's been a while since I've not seen Morales go with the grenade talent. Going with kind of more of a supporty type build, which again, given what I think they're going to do, makes sense. Meanwhile, up in the top, Siege Camp was cleared out, so they tried to stall it, but ultimately missed my E, getting the advantage up in this top lane, and now there's no one up there to clear. Good tether there by Wolf, onto Wolf Dark, I should say. Stukov, though, going to be able to heal people back up pretty quick with that one good spread.
Oh, wow. Great silence there to cut him off at the choke.
And then as Tether trying to pull it back in, oh, but the little column there got in the way. Blade Dash came in. Could have been a swap. Might have been on cooldown.
Tyrael used his Q. He does not have his escape. Oh.
Yeah, he doesn't. Artanis backing up to tap. That should allow Miss My E to turn this red, or at least turn it yellow. Yep, they're going to get this to be red for the time being. Artanis now having to go up to clear this top lane. Very smart play, though, to go up and clear that lane. Ooh, big tether looking for the power slide. Greymane very low. There's the silence follow-up. B-Lob getting pulled back in, but does manage to get away.
And they're just playing it so safe, I think, till they're looking for 7s right now. They have enough time. The percentage on the Volskaya Foundry point is low enough to where they can still push lanes out, maybe look for a 7, and definitely get some advantage on maybe trying to get those structures with Sylvanas.
Now, Sylvanas is in the bot lane at the moment, and actually that's silenced down, so that's a good time to engage, because you have, you know, especially with that early talent, I mean, you have 12 seconds before you have to worry about it again. Sylvanas now starting to rotate in. Here it comes. No swap yet. Blade dash. Ooh, ETC getting a bit low. Trying to find a tether. Oh, and there's a big tether into the silence, and bodies are just hitting the floor. What a play by Maiev Stukov there. And Miss My E. Really good first
just what
win.
the draft was looking for. I mean, a pull right into the silence. ETC stun. There's really not much you can do to respond to that once it does happen. Now, at this point, they're going to look with the mech here just to take walls, probably top, and then, I'm sorry, mid, and then followed by bottom here, just to try and get as much of an EXP advantage as possible to hit 10 before the second spawn.
Yeah, Miss My E playing this very, very smart. This is like a veteran team here. You know, not trying to overcommit to the fort, just realizing what the game is. The game is get level 10 first and abuse that. So they're going to get the front walls, like you said. Really veteran play. I like it.
And even Stukov is playing it well, placing out the E right in front of the walls to make sure they can't cast any spells on the mech as it pushes.
And not panicking to break it so he could get healed off when ETC was at half. Just trusting his tank to not commit suicide there. Very good play. And they get the walls, and they're going to back out. So, huge win. Now, Sylvanas has been pushing bottom the whole time.
Terrible. Now, well, the thing is, though, is they ended up losing the fountain top, which is a huge disadvantage on once the second point spawns, because they're not going to be able to have tap for fountains, and they're probably going to have a level disadvantage when they go for that next fight.
Yep, very big advantage for Miss My E. And keep in mind, the nature of this comp, as they move in to take this top tower. Got to be careful, though. Here comes Maiev. Could get a big tether. There's the tether on the Merlin X, pulling it back into the wall. But going to be able to walk away before the rest of the team gets there. The wall, keep in mind, the wall is down. The gate's still standing, but the cannon towers are down. Oh my goodness, what a huge stun. Followed up by a strong tether. Merlin X. Ooh, now I'm a little bit out of position, but Blob has gonna have to back up. Blob is knocking on death's door. Here comes ETC, looking for the re-engage with the power slide. He finds Merlin X. There's the face melt, pushing him into the wall. Blaze trying to charge in onto Merlin X. Wolf Dark trying to get him out. Wolf Dark, oh, what a huge tether, hitting 4 people. There's the silence, but so far no one has died on the side of MHS Tigers. And my goodness, that disengage.
Just the beauty of medic. Just that's medic in functioning at its finest.
Ooh,
Grenade.
but a big tether. There's the power slide onto medic with the Junkrat tire into the mosh. Oh my goodness! Oh wow, those 3 kills were earned using those heroics so well. Greymane gonna be able to get a turnaround kill, but getting those kills right then was the perfect time to do it. It's definitely gonna stall any attempt at doing any kind of cheese, and wow, that paid off extremely well for them.
I'll have to say, like, that time they pulled the trigger right when they hit their 10s there with that power slide straight into Mosh Pit. That was perfect. Honestly, it could have been timed better there. What I would like to see, though, is maybe they go for the med pack now, right before B spawns, look for their neutral camps right now, clear out bottom side, and just take huge map control here. They don't have much of a fort top side to retreat to for MHS Tigers, so this next fight could play really deadly if Miss My E ends up getting the mech here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're still fairly equal, so if MHS Tigers can get the mech, they can definitely work their strategy. Ooh, what a good swap onto Junkrat. Junkrat gonna try to run away here. Here comes the rundown. Looks like they're gonna get out. Bunker gonna be dropped. Blaze using the bunker perfectly well for the disengage. I've been so impressed by both these teams' play, but especially by the play of Miss My E. They're just... everything they need to do, they're doing it right when they need to do it.
I really like going for the camp here right after they've controlled top side, causing Miss My E to back off. They're going to have the chance, though, for Miss My E to clear the camp top, and they'll have theirs pressuring as well as the point's just about to unlock for them to grab.
Yep.
Now the question here is, are they going to try and take advantage of Sylvanas here, try and get an EXP advantage lead, maybe get more of objective control?
I think they're going
or
to
are they
take
gonna actually
Fort
try and
on
contest
bottom.
control point?
I think they're pulling the trigger on their strategy. And keep in mind, they have the medevac, so as soon as they see people vacate top, they could actually go up there. So that could be the play, and they are starting to move into the keep. Now, they do have the siege damage, and so now we're seeing Junkrat come back to defend. Big
Nice toss
tire,
in there.
but Sylvanas can't actually deafen the tower, can't silence the main keep.
Oh, this is
And
beautiful.
so Merlin X is going to drop there. Oh my goodness, what a great mine there. Now the medevac needs to come out and they need to get top. That was a great defense. Oh, what a good... Oh, but the Mosh is going to prevent them from getting into the medevac. And there's the Warden's cage. Oh my goodness, Miss My E is just taking no prisoners at the moment. Oh, man.
At the very same time, we're still going to have actually cap top, so they're actually going to have mech on this. So an instant reply right after taking the kills. They're going to have a med kit after they've had a Greymane drop it from the death there from Mosh Pit. So this is an easy push down mid. This could even end in a potential keep here, depending on how well they play this with their Junkrat here to siege it out.
Well, and what really concerns me is that I haven't seen MHS Tigers be able to get kills even when they have numbers. They don't seem to secure them well at the moment, and that's going to start counting up really quick. As we take a look, Artanis also, unfortunately, with 4 deaths so far, so gotta play a little bit smarter. Things like that Blade Dash can really be punished by the ETC and to have. But Maiev already with 40,000 damage.
Miss My E once again going for one of those really controlled plays. Going instead of going for the keep here, they're just going for just another clear map advantage here, clear control of the map. They're going to lose the fountain for the 3rd mech that's going to spawn, so they're not going to have any taps for the next team fight.
And the trigger has been pulled. Here come the Juice Pirates. This is exactly what we were looking for. Now the key is, can the back come in time? If the only way to back with 5 is to abandon the mech, so they actually could move on to the core here, and I think Miss My E maybe has just miscalculated a little bit. The mech still going to be there. It's only going to be 3 people on this defense, but this core is dropping. Oh, but a huge silence, putting people in bad spot. Medic is actually taking the damage from that tower and was not in the sanctification. The mech was burned now. 76% on the core. They're not going to get the kill. Oh, man.
That was a really nice attempt for a backdoor, though. That was super close. And honestly, that's going to open up the map immensely for MHS Tigers to kind of recover here. Losing 4 players, getting a good chunk of core damage out. This is honestly what they needed. That was a risky gambit, but I think it's going to pay off massively in their favor.
Well, they can backdoor as soon as they're up, and without the mech on the table, it's going to be a long time before that C mech comes up. What I want to say there was on that fight, Morales was actually taking the damage from the core, and didn't get into the sanctification there. Needed to either back up behind the core so someone else was taking the shots, or needed to make sure to be near Tyrael for sanctification. I think if Morales stayed up, that could have gone a bit better. Not to say they could have ended, but they maybe could have gotten it down to 30% or so. But here comes a heavy aggress attempt to engage. Maiev looking for Winslow. Good knockback. And I like this aggression by Miss My E. They're doing exactly what they need to do. They're keeping vision on where Morales is with that medevac. And we don't know what the cooldown is because obs bug.
It looks like it's going to be about a 60-second cooldown. I can't see the actual cooldown, so
yeah,
we'll just go with the next timer that rolls out here.
I mean, it could be up now. We are seeing the push-up with the Stukov and the Siege Camp. There's a Wailing Arrow, but there's no attempt to follow up there, so I think it was just a wasted ult at that point. Maiev coming in, looking for the tether. Oh, but Maiev gets turned around on. Here comes a big rip tire, hits Winslow in the back. Now Stukov trying to disengage, but given the comp and given the situation, this could actually be deadly. With Maiev down, they're going straight for it. Here comes the medevac. ETC smart. ETC gonna make sure they can't get into the medevac for free. Or is he? Nope. They're looking to end, and no one has backed. They're gonna move straight onto the core. Here it comes. It's Juice Pirates time.
This could be it.
This is it. No one had backed in time. Here comes ETC. They need to spread out. They need to not get hit by the Mosh.
Oh,
they got hit by the 5-man Mosh.
That's crazy. Into a 5-man silence. Looks like this backdoor isn't going to pan out for them here. Bunker
It
going
is
out
not,
here.
and that is unfortunately in. Well, wait, Merlin X. Nope, he's gonna die. But their core down to 23%. Surely he'll get next time. But if they just didn't stack up there, if they just spread out around the core, that was game.
That was absolutely crazy. I cannot believe that ETC landed that perfect of a mosh. That was great. I think that definitely sanctification could have come out a little bit earlier there just to prevent that from happening right off the get-go. But still, excellent play by ETC. Honestly, I'd say his mosh have pretty much been game turners from here up to when he hit level 10.
Well, I mean, I'd certainly give ETC credit for hitting it, but I also have to say that unfortunately it was MHS Tigers that let him hit that. Again, they were really stacked up on the core.
Oh, for sure.
Not sure what the goal was there, but now we're seeing pressure up. Blaze trying to take top keep, and it looks like MHS Tigers, they want nothing to do with this.
They're looking for the second.
They're just going straight to core. Here it comes again. They're waiting for the medevac. There it is. Everyone's gonna get in. They're gonna leave quick. Backs are coming. That's game.
Right here. Early sank here. I think they may pop off as soon as they see someone appear from the gate here.
Yep, that is game. So Juice Pirates worked.
Wow. It's really hard to punish a composition like this when you don't have that great of counter push to really push into forts and keeps when you're running something like Maiev. They were looking for fights. They were looking to skirmish, and I think it was a great job by MHS Tigers to play the macro game, look for objectives rather than looking for fights, and eventually opening up the game just by taking that bottom, making that risky play, and then finally turning out the win.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation when you're on Miss Mai. The only way to beat that comp is to continue to get picks and things like that. And they weren't able to do it just because of how kind of, I don't want to say passively, because certainly that wasn't passive, but just sneakily that MHS Tigers was playing. But at that point also, I think they underestimated it early, and they eventually just didn't get the value they needed out of the mech to prevent it. But with that, game one, gonna head over. Let's just take a quick look at the stats as fix a couple things here and there. It is gonna be top damage going to Junkrat, actually, not Maiev. Junkrat stepped it up late with all the stacking, but still. Win over to excuse me. I gave the win to Miss Mai, which was wrong, to MHS Tigers. There we go. So that's
Honestly,
fixed.
Pulling one out for where people really didn't expect it to. Taking a win where, honestly, I thought the game was pretty much shut out for them, at least on the objective side of things, but found a win where wins didn't look possible.
I mean, I kind of knew what was coming with the comp. I think it just came down to it is a hard comp to stop. You have to kind of learn how to play against it, and you need to really make specific choices against it in terms of being very decisive on the defense. But with that, we're gonna take a brief break and head to game number 2. So we'll be right back. Hit start. There we go. We are back. Hitting into game number 2 between MHS Tigers and Miss My E. Miss My E won the last game and everything except what matters most, which is killing the core. MHS Tigers moves up 1-0 off of a Juice Pirate strat, harkening back to days of yore.
I think honestly, we're playing another map that plays to the strengths of how MHS Tigers playstyle looks to play, and I think if anything, Miss Mai is going to look to draft specifically to counter that. So we might see a lot more globals. Honestly, I would see them prioritizing things like Dahaka, things like Abathur that have a little bit more map control for on the macro level rather than looking for aggressive kill compositions.
Yeah, I think that would work out pretty well. As you see the timer ticking down, if you don't notice, you can see up in the banner up on the top that you can still see the dial around the NGS logo. That's right, it's an analog clock, boys and girls. Thank you to 7th Ace for putting that one together. 10 seconds left on the first ban here, and it hasn't been Phoenix yet, so that means they might want to play Phoenix. So what's the ban going to be? It's going to be...
there we go. That's
so
the
they're
respect
just denying
ban.
they're denying the global more than anything else. Which Morales is a critical part to that comp. Obviously, you need the medevac to be able to move large distance quickly. So it's an interesting doubt. Meanwhile, on respect ban on the other side was about to be Maev, but then they're like, no.
Like they're looking for the Phoenix.
Yeah, it's about yeah.
They're looking to let Maev in a second time. I mean, we'll see how that plays out now.
I mean, Phoenix is a broken hero. That's the problem. Sure. Phoenix is a broken hero. 65% win rate. Blizz, please.
I'll say, like, from my experience in Hero League, I think his there's a little bit of number padding to it, at least from what I've seen from players playing it. I think he does better at the lower levels where auto attack heroes thrive, at least in like higher level games I've seen. Unless players take advantage of the phase shift on him, he's getting kind of mowed over by heroes like Genji and Hanzo.
Yeah, but I mean, phase shift is like maybe the best escape in the game.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like, they need to half its range and increase its cooldown, and then maybe it'll be balanced.
I think the biggest thing is just removing the ability to cleanse CC. Like, as long as the soft CC hits and you can still cast it, that's where the trouble, I think, really runs into it. The hero, part of every other part of its kit is fine. Wow, so you see the Kel'Thas pick coming out, followed by Diablo for MHS Tigers. Now, I did see before that they were banning Kel'Thas, so maybe it's a target ban to one of the players on the other team. So maybe that's why they're affiliate Kel'Thas now. Apparently that opens up to where they actually have that as a pick. Stewcroft coming in again too as well. I think safe pick. They ended up playing it really well, and I think honestly, like so far the draft, we may see a little bit more of a standard drafts once again. Maev's open again, ETC's open again. They may look for the same exact draft as they did before, maybe with some slight deviations. Right. Stage Dive is a really good pick here on this map for just curse control.
Yeah, it could be. With this, I mean, definitely high priority onto the Stukov again. There's the Anubrak Maev. That's a really strong combo. Once again, the ability to kill people post 10 is definitely there. What do you ban here? Probably something like, especially.
I would say they're going to look to ban. I would ban Hanzo here. Hanzo's looking a really solid ban.
I'd probably say Junkrat is maybe a bigger threat, because you could actually take Hanzo into an Uberak and do pretty well. They're going to ban the Li Ming, though, which is strange. I wasn't thinking that they would want Li Ming. I guess I could see it, but
they may have a player that specializes in Li Ming. I haven't looked too much into what each player's strengths are. Maybe they have a really strong Li Ming player on their hands.
Yeah, I don't know. It's still trying to wrap my head around that ban. Meanwhile, on the other side, I think a Malfurion ban seems strong, although if you're going to go for a burst thing, the better hero to ban if you're trying to just blow one target up is Uther.
I think we're going to look for a similar draft, but just with a little bit of a different twist. Now, I know a lot of people have called out already that they really like playing Vikings, so we might honestly see a Vikings pick here. And just once again, looking to avoid fights, looking to play the macro game and just gain levels and just be a huge annoyance on curse control.
So Vikings, I thought about that Excuse me. I thought about that before the draft started, and then the draft started, and I saw Kel'Thas Diablo and thought, it's not really a lot of siege damage. So with a Viking strat on this map, you want Vikings in 2 lanes while you open up a boss lane to get pressure. But to do that, you need early siege damage, and Kel'Thas Diablo and Malfurion does not make early siege damage.
Now, they do have one more hero pick open that could really change that for them, but we'll see here.
Something like a... Nope. So this seems to be a pretty standard teamfight comp out of MHS Tigers this time. Does not look like cheese to me. And actually, I like the Tracer pickup. It's good for harassing the Anubarak. Maiev has a hard time with it.
Early on.
Well, it's good for harassing Stukov as well, because it can force him to blow an early trait in a team fight just to save someone from a pulse bomb, and then you can just push in from there. Unless Stukov goes the best level 7 talent, which is targeted excision.
As we were looking for before, I knew they were going to look for prioritizing more macro level play, maybe more control of the map, control of curses, and so we see the Dahaka pick come out. Players great with isolation when Maiev just manages to cage someone. They can throw an isolation onto the priority target, or even tongue them to follow up with a lot of CC. So honestly, if Tracer or Kel'Thas get picked out, it's pretty much game over for them as a carry.
Now at this point, I would say Greymane would be a strong choice as that ranged assassin, just because he's bulky enough to not get one shot by Tracer. It is going to be the Junkrat, can also play safe. They played it well, and actually Junkrat fits, once again, he fits this Maiev style play extremely well. What's the 5th?
I think honestly, I love Junkrat. He's honestly, when you play Hurley, if you're looking for a super safe pick, it's going to be Junkrat. He fits almost any composition. He plays well on any map. He's just a really solid safe pick, almost like a Greymane, but for more in like the specialist AoE DPS role.
Okay, so Gazlo. I did not see that one coming.
Bimaduho is actually, this is what ended up winning them in the game against Victoria's Secret on Battlefield of Eternity was the Gazlo pick here. So I'm honestly interested to see how they play this on a solo lane level. Bimaduho has been able to hold their own against the Sonya pick, and even in fact dominated on later parts of the game. So I think that it's silly, it's unorthodox, but I could definitely see just from the player playing it that it could work.
Well, I think what we'll likely see very aggressive attempts to pick off in the 4-man, while Gazlo is able to split push, get some early value, possibly open up a fort wall on a boss lane, and then go and try to actually get Gazlo to help burn down the boss super quick, maybe with something like a Robo Goblin could actually be used there. I mean, I would love Gravabomb, but if that's the comp they're going for, then they would want Robo Goblin.
I've heard Bimaduho honestly prefers going Gravabomb in almost all situations on Gazlo, so I'm assuming that's going to be the level 10 pick. Maybe they might deviate just because of the map, because of the composition we're going for, but we'll definitely see here. I'm just more concerned about, you've got a Maiev, you've got a Nubarak, you've got a really solid two hero roam that can really pull off kills with Junkrat, who's really good for sunning up with his satchel bomb. You've got Stukov, who can silence, and you've got Maiev that can, Dahaka that can stun. So I mean, really, any lane is pretty much free pick'ems for any hero that manages to stick there.
All right. Well, here we go. Hopping into game number 2, MHS Tigers looking to close out the domination. Going to be Winslow on Malfurion, B Blob, going to be on Tracer, Bimaduho going to be on Gazlo, Wolfdark on Diablo, and Merlin X on Kel'Thas. Go ahead and introduce the right side.
So we have Miss Mai, we have Tells once again that's going to be playing the Junkrat, Nomk's that's going to be on the Dahaka, Sestrin once again going to be on the Maiev. We have Born to Shine playing Stukov, rolling it out again with those big silences, and then the Duda Bode, who's going to be rolling out Anubarak, their tank player here.
Alright, so here we go. Gazlo going to move straight into the top lane, looks like. Going to at least grab the vision anyway. Let's see where we go. Looking at the talents, nothing... It is Convection, actually. I was about to say nothing surprising. And then Convection.
Ooh, me personally, it would take a world of convincing an essay for me to say that Convection can be good in a situation. But for me, I think it's too risky. It doesn't pay off that much for the damage. And against the composition that he's rolling into against, it's going to be almost impossible to maintain those stacks.
All right. Meanwhile, on the other side, it is the enhanced agility, so that'll help Dahaka rotate pretty quick. Trying to go in onto Maiev, but Maiev just going to vault away. Completely balanced hero. Now, with the tether followed up with the silence, and I gotta say that Sestrin and Born to Shine have really been on point with that combo, and Gazlo got flipped over the wall. My goodness, Tells plays that Junkrat like a fiddle.
Like watching art perform. It's beautiful. Middle of a painting session here, and just casually satchels him over, and he dies instantly. And he's straight back to top after Vimaduho took that death from the satchel.
Yeah. I mean, he solo defended against 5 in the last game, lest we forget.
Fair enough.
He's just Tells has been playing really well. And I think honestly, given how the first game went, if Miss My E can make sure to force this game to be vanilla, I think there you have a huge advantage.
Now, this is where honestly the experience really shows. We have Miss My E who instantly goes for the siege camp as soon as it spawns. Meanwhile, we have a 3-man rotation missing mid soak while this happens for them to take the siege camp for MHS Tigers, which I think is a part of the reason Gazlo kind of set this up after his death, makes it harder to time that camp.
Right.
But I think a minor mistake, but definitely I think we'll see the huge difference in how it plays with the siege, especially Tracer being only able to clear so quickly against the siege camp.
Well, against the siege camp and against Dahaka, although Beblob doing pretty well trading positively there, but it does look like that maybe MHS Tigers, like, meta in terms of how they approach the camps on this map, may be a bit stale on the basis of they didn't get their bruisers before this first phase, which is actually pretty common to do anymore, but we'll see if they get value off their bruisers on the backside. Meanwhile, though, it's going to be a long rotation for Kael'thas and Tracer. Not going to be a long rotation for Dahaka.
This is where we're going to see the Dahaka really pay off. And the Maiev really paying off as well. You can pick off the Gazlo, you can pick off the Kael'thas. Contesting Shrines is going to be really risky for them as a whole. Maiev can catch them, Stukovs and silence them. They instantly die after the Moonbrack CC.
Yep. Now, Moonfire did manage to interrupt in time. This is going to be a 5-man fight. Dahaka comes in the back, finds himself a troll. Oh, good stun onto Wolfdark. Wolfdark in a lot of trouble. Using the Shadow Charge, trying to get away. Actually going to do it. That was a great escape there, but meanwhile, Gazlo going to die on the backside. And once again, a lot of members of Miss My E low, but nobody quite dying. Tracer was very low, not going to be able to get the heal up for a time. This is a 5v4. They do manage to flip Dahaka. Oh, there's a root. Dahaka going to get rooted as soon as he unburrows. Here comes Maiev.
Oh,
what a great save by Junkrat. But I don't think Nomka is going to get out of there. He does not. And now Maiev in a world of hurt. So is Diablo. But Diablo can take a little bit more hurt. And this is actually starting to work out pretty well. Gazlo actually going to join the fight rather than going for the split push. So this is a team fight oriented. So it's definitely going to be the Gravabomb later. No cheese, really. It's like no cheese, even though it's a Gazlo.
Oh, come on. Everyone needs a little bit of fromage. I can't take it without having it on a sandwich.
Yeah. Don't mind. But meanwhile, Dahaka already at bottom, getting level 7 for his team. First trib, though, over to MHS Tigers as they look to close out the 2-0. Gazlo going to rotate down into the Bruiser. No one getting bot soak at the moment, though. And no one really seemingly in a hurry to rotate there. So a little bit of an experience showing.
This is where Sestrin and the Dude Abode really need to kind of combine together, come together, and try and make picks happen for them. Look to catch the Kael'thas on rotation to bottom lane. Look to take out the Tracer top. Otherwise, when the next tribute spawns, they're not going to have the advantage. As we noticed, the melee comp kind of suffered against the Kael'thas there early on, but we'll look to see maybe after the siege camp if they're going to try and look for a pick.
Now, if there is going to be cheese, this could be where it happens. Gazlo could go for boss while they use Moonfire. Nope, looks like Gazlo's not going to do it. I was going to say Gazlo could try to go for boss while they stall the shrine with the Tracer, the Moonfires, all that. But that's not going to be the case. Excuse me, I was looking at the mini-map there, so the map just wasn't moving.
Oh, nice pick on Diablo onto the new bracket. He's just going to E right out, though. Although, beautiful silence.
On to Maiev, and Maiev now doesn't have Vault again. Tracer, though, having to back up just a little bit low. Here comes Maiev onto the back. Maiev should not have taken that blink. You just re-blinked in the wrong neighborhood. Three to the
really
got
to watch
three.
your angles against
Ooh,
Diablo.
but a huge Junkrat bomb. Gonna secure a kill onto Gazlo. And now it's actually a little bit of an awkward position. Nobody with a clear edge here. Normally I'd give the edge to the Stukov team, but what a great separation there by Nom. Now just get away before the boss kills you. There it is. Keep in mind, Tracer took Untouchable here. So this is confidence.
This is battle of the lose my stacks here.
Yeah, and actually, ooh, Diablo, though, getting silenced. There's the tether. Gonna be able to get out. Good Malfurion healing there. Malfurion, though, very, very low on mana at the time. And now, ooh, Maiev is all over Diablo. Diablo's gonna go down. That was 100 souls. Gazlo, meanwhile, has moved away to give this tribute up. Gonna clear up this bottom lane. Kael'thas just gonna stall, but not actually gonna accomplish anything. Tracer gonna be able to back here safely. Once again, another good stall. And Tracer gonna stall this out. This is very risky, and recalls out, but ooh, Tracer's gonna drop. Oh,
maybe not.
Oh,
maybe
minions!
Right. Oh, Maiev with the long-range Phantom Knives there. Wow.
I don't think going back in for that stall was worth. When you lost your untouchable stacks there. We'll have to see where it goes.
Oh, looks like the Gazlo's having a little bit of a scrap here with Dahaka. He pops out the isolation, still looking to fight, but Gazlo pulls out ahead. Well, maybe not.
Ooh. Meanwhile, though, boss has been started, and it's not going to be contested here. So this is going to be a boss in the top lane as the Shrine phase starts. Although, will they be able to get down in time? Let's see. How boss, that's 5k HP, yeah.
They have, MHS Tigers has this the tribute next to them. It's only second tribute for either team. For me, I personally wouldn't take it. I would look to contest the second boss, see if we can force a fight on there, rather than trying to go for that, or even go for a push top.
Yeah. Now, Junkrat is going to clear up the siege, just so the siege doesn't get free chunk on the boss there, but it's going to have to be reacted to, and there we see Miss Mai going to go ahead and start moving towards this boss, it looks like. Junkrat's still top, though, and he's a big part of their damage. Ooh, Merlin X in a little bit of a dangerous spot. Going to get away.
Here we go. They're going for the second boss here. Great answer to them trying to get removed the top.
Tracer keeping vision on this can harass, but not going to actually be able to do anything. And without Diablo here... Oh, and there is... Ooh, there's going to be a silence on this Cocoon. Oh, no, wait. No, he got stunned. And Phoenix... Ooh, now Stukov actually drops there.
Wow.
Got rooted by the boss. Oh, no, and things just fell apart from there. Got rooted by the boss, then stunned. Good juke by B-Blob. And they defend the boss.
This could be curse point. They're already one player down for 14 seconds.
And it's their healer, but no one interrupting. So it is the second token going the way of Missed My E. So 2 and 2.
Man, that was just the worst timing for that root to roll out right as they were about to throw the silence. That really just shows when you kind of cluster up so closely like that in a small skirmish on the boss, it can really could be a bad time for your whole team. You really want to space yourself out to give everyone some leg room to move around while fighting in those kind of close quarters.
But looking at, ooh, there's a tether. Looking onto onto Tracer. Triple blink being used by B-Blob just to make sure he can get away, and away he does get. And it's going to be looking like another 5-man team fight, and here it is, 5v5. If Obs weren't lying to me, I would say all ultimates are probably up, but I have no way of knowing that.
Well, 13s are looking way more likely to be available for Miss Mai here than MHS.
Ooh, but they do manage to fight Stukov, and there's the root into the APOC. That is going to be a dead Stukov, but it's also going to be a dead Malfurion on the backside using the Twilight Dream. There's the Gravity Lapse. Going to get vaulted, though. Tracer, meanwhile, picking it off. Bodies are just hitting the floor, but so far 3 of them have been on the side of Miss Mai E. Dahaka going to use that agility to get on out of there. The Bugatti Dahaka managing to escape, but my goodness, that was a bloodbath.
And that's what happens when you face check into Diablo early on. You've got to watch your walls. You've got to watch your placement. That always ends up in and a huge bad time. And I think that's always something a lot of people in just in general, even in Hero League, don't acknowledge, is looking at your angles. You got to watch your angles.
Mm-hmm. And I think it was just Stukov's positioning there was in front of his tanks, a little bit aggressive, trying to set up to go for the dive with Maiev, but then Maiev didn't have the follow-up, and it kind of just fell apart from there. Gazlo doing some good siege damage here. But again, not really a cheese comp that we're seeing as the last game. This one pretty vanilla, even though it has a Gazlo. And it is the Robo Goblin.
The Gobo Robo that doesn't stop.
Meanwhile, rotation coming to bottom. Tracer and Kel'Thas needing to be a bit careful. They're dead.
Oh, here we go. It looks like this is a really solid pick.
No. Only Malfurion's dead. Kel'Thas is fine.
Silence comes out. Yeah, there's no escape from Malfurion here. He's pretty much 6 feet
Ooh,
under.
Gazlo's dead.
Oh, no. Walks straight up in the Nubarak. Web comes out.
But the silence did not come in time, and it was actually a mist-weighted pustule there that could have secured the kill. Junkrat Tire not going to do it, so once again a good escape! Oh my goodness. What a turnaround there. Couple of missed skill shots there. Technically it wasn't a missed E, it was a missed W. But nonetheless, it likely translates here into a boss. Although there is no healer on the side of MHS, but with all that top damage on Keep, they're going to have to react to that. There goes Junkrat. They're going to save top Keep for now, but that makes top boss potentially a win condition for MHS. And it will be up fairly soon. Actually, 25 seconds.
Taking a look back at talents, I'm kind of surprised here. We have lingering spines coming out from Stukov here rather than the snare. So
that could maybe be just a. It is not a trivial skill to hit. And certainly if you're worried about long-term sustained damage, using your trait at the very start of a fight as a way to try to secure a kill is very, very risky. It's, you know, if you get the kill, which usually you do, it's fine. If you lose, you usually can't take the fight. So I think that it may be a combination of those two factors. But that extra duration on the silence I think is good too, with just how many interrupts have been there. But boss gonna be picked up here by MHS, unless Miss My E does something very drastic, very quick.
They might be able to with Web here. Now they are finding a talent down.
Ooh, a noob needs to burrow charge under the thing. I don't know if he sees it though. He doesn't see it. Oh no, oh no!
Beautiful
he charged
page.
too far past the point. Maiev does come in, but there's the Twilight Dream, and it's just absolutely decimating there. Malfurion goes down, but it's 3 kills so far, and with Tracer here, it's gonna be at least 4. Ooh, is Junkrat gonna be able to trade? Junkrat trades. But and Junkrat escapes. Tells his MVP. Like even though his team may lose the game here, Tells MVP.
I think I honestly I've never seen more just cognizant of where he is, where he's positioned, and also the positioning of his bombs on a Junkrat in a game like this. Really well played.
He's been playing it extremely well, and they're not committing. With a boss on the core, they're not committing. With a Gazlo, with Robo Goblin.
One curse cap here. Huh. I mean, they didn't have their healer there. Maybe that they wanted to play slow game.
I'm just.
They are still getting a damage on 4 though. 4%, 7%.
Yeah, it is 7% onto the core, as Malfurion taunting the mercenary camp. Winslow, sir, that is rude. And we will not tolerate it. For shame, Winslow. For shame.
Now, right now, Miss Mai probably going through their head. They are desperate for a curse here to try and pull them back in this game. 2-level disadvantage. They want to fight on equal talents before they hit 20 for MHS Tigers. And I honestly don't think they're going to have that luxury here as they're setting up right now for the curse. But Diablo does get picked off a little bit here, getting a bit of free damage. Tracer walks into the silence, getting a lot of free damage.
She does, but meanwhile, over here on the backside, Dahaka burrowed in and found every single member of MHS Tigers. Now the dude abode is in so much trouble. Gonna go down. Maiev just trying to run away. Dahaka gonna go down. And things have just kind of started to fall apart here for Missed by E. As now, that's a second straight team fight that they just didn't engage well, and things just dissolved as soon as the fight started.
Isolation is just not finding its mark. These fights, he gets picked off way too early before it's able to happen.
Ooh,
And
does Tells have a mine? Tells.
Oh no.
Tells died. Oh no, MVP revoked. Sorry. Sorry, I tried. But with that, now level 20 on the horizon, and if they get this keep, they'll get it.
And I think the Suns are going to set on here on Miss Mai as they're about to lose their second keep.
Yeah, they were landing their combos early, but once the pressure came in... Oh, speaking of combos, though, there's a chance. There's Diablo getting grabbed, but the focus of all that damage was on Diablo, and Diablo has approximately, correct me if I'm wrong here, 1 billion HP.
Yeah, we have Convection now just finished for Kael'thas. Ooh, this is
that value. Ooh, flip onto a noob. Now they're just calling for ping retreats. Gonna get Tracer out of there.
This is Curse Point here. They've almost lost their second keep here. Curse is surely going to go here towards MHS Tigers. They're about to hit 20, just a sliver off of EXP here. I think they're going to hit it just as time kind of ticks out here. And really, Miss Mai can't contest. This is pretty much a free Curse here, and looks like this might be a push for game.
Here it comes. Trying to get the engage attempt. The noob backs up, then backs in. There's the Warden's Cage. It has Diablo, but once again, Diablo being the only one who can be focused. And Kael'thas just doing so much damage there. Stukov goes down. Junkrat goes down. Maiev goes down. Oh my goodness. And it is a bloodbath. One note for you Stukovs out there. Universal Carrier has really bad synergy with one good spread. With one good spread, you're trying to set up your sustained healing. With Universal Carrier, you want to set up your burst healing. So if you want to go Universal Carrier, go Vigorous Reuptake. Just support time. I'm a support player, so I have to talk about it.
Really, I think this speaks to volumes of when drafting a tank in a composition. I'm as much of a Nubarak fan as anybody else, but you're throwing both Tahaka and Nubarak, two really squishy frontliners, into a Kael'thas whose Living Bomb is really great for melee heroes, and they were just torn to ribbons, fight after fight after fight after fight. With Twilight Dream followed up with a Living Bomb or even a Phoenix, it was pretty much spelled the demise for both the Dudabode and Namke on Tahaka and Anubarak.
Yeah, it seemed like, I mean, I guess we walked away from the first game thinking like, okay, MHS is just a cheese team. They won from cheese, which they did. Totally won. This game, they were not a cheese team. Even though they had a Gazlo, they didn't do anything cheesy. They were just better, flat better.
I think they played it really well. Now there were some. Every time I think Miss Mai shows, like, just in these brilliance of moments of really good early game play, really good early game picks, and just a really strong level 10. I think if anything, walking away from these games, a focus for them is going to be just trying to focus more on the late game, the mid game, and continue the snowball rolling for them in future games.
Yeah, I mean, they looked really strong. So keep in mind, there's a lot of new teams in Nexus Gaming Series. I don't recognize a lot of the teams in Division D, but I gotta say that they played well enough that a team that I was playing with briefly, which is in Division B, probably would have struggled to beat them.
I'm a Div A player here, and even so, like, looking at these teams, there were moments. I mean, especially Tells, a lot of the time when I was watching him play Junkrat, that I saw a player that could make plays, could turn tables, and really pull out some surprising picks early on. Those satchel bombs were huge a lot of the time for early picks.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can get a post game interview here. Stay with us 1 second. We'll be right back if we can get an interview, and if not, we'll just wrap up with some closing thoughts. Stay tuned. Okay, there's someone.
Sure.
All right, we're back. We're joined by two members of the winning MHS Tigers, joined by Winslow and Bimeduho. I'm saying that right? Bimeduho?
Bimedaho.
Bimedaho. Okay. All right. So with that, congratulations on the win, guys. Great job. How do you feel?
Really great. Wanted to start the season off with a bang, trying to go with Cheese Comp, the Juice Pirates.
I didn't mean to click that. Wait, am I even allowed to be in here?
So we only just want two members of MHS Tigers in here. Thank you. All right.
So yeah, we decided to try something a bit different for the first game. Went Juice Pirates. That surprisingly worked out. And for game 2, decided to just go more normal comp for us.
Yeah, so normal comp, which includes a Gazlo. Anyway,
That's all I play, pretty much.
I said more normal, not normal, so
Yeah.
relative.
No, the Juice Pirates was very aggressive. So you did have a couple mishaps on it early. Junkrat had a great... Tell's Junkrat play on the other team was very solid this series.
Yeah.
But he had that Junkrat play, which separated Artanis out over the wall, and Sylvanas couldn't get to the keep to silence it. So it was a great play there. But then you guys kind of stacked up when you went for the core the second time.
Yeah.
And allowed a 5-man mosh. So walk me through that. What was comms after that?
We were planning on, since we saw that Serial had Sanctification up, so we thought that our mindset was, as soon as we see ETC come out, we hit Sanctification so that he can't mosh pit us. But unfortunately, the communication got a bit off, and the Sanctification was a bit too late. So we were grouped up, but that was primarily because of Sanctification, which should have gone through.
Yeah, it could be a finicky mistress Sanctification. But either way, you guys got the win. You backdoored enough times. You just kept patting your head. You got there. Very dominant game, too, though. It's a very tough... Because that's a very tough comp to go against, the Maiev, Anubarak, Stukov. You have to be really careful with how you approach. So how did you approach the team fights? Kind of some of the earlier ones didn't go great. Not to say you lost, but they just weren't at all dominant. It was very back and forth. And then you guys, flipped the switch, around level 10, 13, and just started dominating every fight. What do you attribute that to?
I attribute that to Robo Goblin.
Robo Goblin.
So our comp was, we wanted to... Our mindset was more in the PvE. Basically, we wanted to try and get a keep down. I tried to get a keep exposed before level 10 so we could meta back into that, which we didn't end up doing. So our comp isn't really meant for the team fights, and we were fine with giving up the objective to them.
I'm talking about Cursed Hollow.
Oh, Cursed Hollow.
Sorry. I moved on to Cursed Hollow. My bad.
So Cursed Hollow, let me backtrack a bit.
Because you were actually winning team fights was what I was talking about, and that did not happen in game 1. You didn't need it, but yeah. Talking just the team fights early in Cursed Hollow, especially on that top, it was that top first token was very back and forth, and it kind of just trading pickoffs here and there in the early game, and then around level 10, you guys started to win. You won one big team fight on top. Stukov was a bit separated. You blew him up, managed to turn on a Maiev, and then after that, you just steamrolled every fight from there. So what do you attribute that to, I guess?
Vimaduho?
Magic.
I think going forward, I guess I kind of had one question. I don't mind if I cut in here for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just looking at the composition, some of the fatal mistakes that happen early on. Going forward, what are kind of your plans to look to maybe improve the early game a bit more to kind of give your mid game, your really huge strengths, mid game and late game, more of a backbone?
Yeah, we haven't really gone and made concrete compositions. We're still really flexible. we still have really like big hero pools, all of us, and I think we need to start specializing into fewer heroes and really get solid footing on those rather than just playing every single thing. So that way we can get a more structured approach to things, and that would hopefully solve everything out.
No, definitely. I think honestly, practicing a lot, getting a lot of games in on heroes really, forges really strong connections with compositions, with play overall on an individual and also on a map-wide level. And honestly, I'm pretty excited to see. For me, I watched a couple of the games of the Sunday scrims where Bimaduho played Gazlo against some of the players of Victoria's Secret. So for me, I was personally rooting for you guys to win, and really glad that you did. But I'd like to see some more unconventional cops. I think that you as a team are really going to bring some exciting, mix-ups to like the standard meta, though it's standard way to play on a lot of these maps.
Yeah, we're definitely actually for what you said with the conventional comps. Yeah, we're going to be having more rough, relatively conventional comps, but I feel like we might want to try lots of other more unknown off meta, test our boundaries. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna just for the sake of time, because I need to take a break before the next cast in an hour. So if you're watching, stay tuned. About an hour, we're gonna have game number 2. It's gonna be some Division B action. But do you have any shout-outs for us, MHS?
Shout out to
Foxman VA. He was gonna play with us tonight, but he wasn't sure he was gonna make it, and it turned out he couldn't. So
yeah, I think he's in the Twitch chat though.
Okay.
You definitely have your cheerleader there.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, thanks again. Best of luck this season. I'm sure I'll catch you guys again somewhere down the road. Definitely will look to try to do it. Thanks again for the great games.
thank you for casting.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Decade, thanks for casting with me. Any shout-outs before we take off here?
Well, I guess I want to thank you, obviously, DB Smiley, giving me the opportunity to cast. I want to thank NGS. This is going to be my first season. I'm actually playing in it as well. We're a Div A team called A Greek Economy. Look for us to lose a lot of games. Just like the GDP, we're planning to crash and burn. So just tune in if there's any streams going out for that.
And I'm DB Smiley. You can follow me at twitch.tv/DB Smiley. I do has an emote, DB Smilchamp. I'm going to type it in chat right now, and people are going to wonder, why am I doing this? Because I have a 2-minute delay, so they're not going to understand why I did it. Anyway, but with that, follow me twitch.tv/DB Smiley. If you want to know when I'm going live, twitter.com/deathbysmiley, because DB Smiley is some woman who tweeted once who was going to go watch CSI.
There we go.
With that, Nexus Gaming Series, nexusgamingseries.com. Season 4 just started up, but you can get in. You can get in on things like Sunday Scrims. You can get in, be a sub. A lot of opportunities still to participate in Season 4. And then there's always Season 5, which will, be coming up soon. I mean, Season 3 just seemed to fly by. Season 4 just kicking off now, but you never know when it'll end. Well, I do know when it'll end. It'll end like 3 months from now. You never know. No, you do know when 3... I'm gonna let it go. I'm not ahead anymore. I'm just gonna let this one go, and I'm just gonna go to the be right back screen without another word and with just an awkward stare.